Hey guys, just want to share some more thoughts with you on Steven Anderson. Again, another thing that I don't really agree with him on, and I don't know if I've mentioned this recently, but I don't think so. I watched one of his videos, one of his recent uploads, and it was dealing with homelessness and stuff. And I don't agree with his stance on homelessness, some of the things that I listen to. I need to go back and listen to it to give like a better refutation or whatever, but he had some points where basically the Bible says that if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. And so we're not supposed to encourage laziness. And, there's a certain context to that and stuff. But he says, he tries to say basically that, a majority of the homeless in America are just lazy because there's so many things out there for them to do. There's soup kitchens and there's places that, they can get supplies and clothes, and there's places that will help people get jobs and stuff like that. So he thinks that they're just lazy drug addicts or whatever, and we shouldn't give any money to the homeless or whatever. And I don't agree with that because for one, I don't think that he really he said he's like, if somebody's got a physical disability, like their legs, they're missing their legs or something, then they're an amputee or whatever, that it's more viable to him to, or it's more, that's more deserving of helping somebody out. But I don't think that he takes into account mental issues that people have, and there's that's a lot that's involved with it too. And even with drug addiction, I mean, even with like severe drug addicts, there's it can be very hard mentally. There's a mental addiction, and then there could even be a physical addiction. People that are on heroin and stuff, or even alcoholics. And then he'd say that there are clinics and places where people can get cleaned up too, and everything's just not so easy, black and white, like he tries to make it be. And what about depression and stuff like that? And there's a lot of people that might think that depression doesn't exist. It's just made up. It's just they just equate depression with laziness or whatever. But I don't think that's true. I think that I've suffered from depression myself, even at times. I'm not on any medication for it or anything, but I know what it's like when you want to do stuff and you're just kind of down, and you feel down about not even doing stuff when you should be, and you just can't have the motivation, and it's like you're doubly getting down on yourself. And it kind of stinks. But I think that a lot of homeless people are probably depressed, and they're suffering with that too, and it's just not easy. There's a lot of levels to it. And the Bible talks about giving. It talks about feeding the homeless and stuff, and helping the homeless, and talks about giving gracious, like giving freely, basically. And it seems like Anderson has all these restrictions on who should receive anything. I'm not saying that everybody should go out and just give any homeless person all their money or anything. It's at everybody's discretion, and I'm not helping any homeless people. I feel like I should be. I hope that maybe sometime in the future I can do something like that. I live in kind of a small town and stuff where homelessness isn't really a problem, but I know that cities like an hour away from me there are. I've seen it before. And, I've dealt with drug addiction and stuff myself in the past. But, so, I mean, I can kind of relate to that, people that are in those situations a little bit. I mean, it's just not as easy as he makes it think that it is. And I don't think that if you're gonna give to the homeless, I mean, you can do what you want, but I just don't think that it's really necessary to ask all these questions and, put all these restrictions on it. If you want to help people, then help them. If you don't, or if you can't, then maybe you can in other ways, and it doesn't always have to be financially, but you can help get people food or clothes or whatever they need. But I just listened to his teaching, and to me, overall it was like negative towards helping homeless people, basically. And I don't think that was really the spirit of Christ at all. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling on here, but I need to watch it again so I can give examples and point out, specifics of the things that he said. But I'm thinking a major part of it probably is that he doesn't consider a lot of mental disorders to be a part of it. And he's not considering how tough it is for people who are on drugs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not good to support people's habits. I'm not saying that, go out to where the junkies are and just give them all kinds of money so they can go get more drugs or whatever. But, there's other ways to help them. And it's just a tough situation. And I know I've seen a lot of videos lately, people uploading like Tucker Carlson and others, going to Seattle, Washington, and going to California and San Francisco, and all these major states and stuff are really having homeless problems where they've got like cities with tents, and just they've got feces on the sidewalks, and they've got used syringes on the sidewalks, and it's crazy. I don't experience anything like that here. Even the little bit of homelessness that I did see, it wasn't like that. I mean, the city was clean and stuff, and like the police aren't even able to really do anything. It's nuts, but I know there are brothers and sisters that are living in those areas, and they're doing stuff to help. I know that they work with programs, and they hand out tracts and do all kinds of stuff there to minister to them, and that's great. So those people definitely need it. But it seems like Anderson wants to discourage any kind of help to the homeless, really, and I don't see that as right. So, yeah, I'll just share that thought, and then maybe I'll look into it later this week to give him more pointed opinions and some more Bible verses. So, God bless.